Clayton Kershaw is one of the most accomplished pitchers of our generation. In 16 seasons in the majors to this point, he has a 2.48 career ERA, has won 3 Cy Youngs, an MVP, 5 ERA titles, and a Gold Glove. He's also made 10 All-Star teams, the most recent in 2023, and has a career .695 win percentage when it comes to pitcher wins and losses. However, as most people are aware, the postseason is always a bit different. In the playoffs, his ERA stands at 4.50, his win-loss record is 12-12, and he only has one World Series title to show for all of his 39 playoff appearances. That ring came in 2020, a ring which far too many people are still far too quick to discredit. If it was so easy to win, why didn't your team do it? However, today I want to do something different. I don't want to make this one of those videos, oh, Clayton Kershaw, postseason, bad, blah blah blah. I want to take a step back and review every single Clayton Kershaw postseason outing from 2008 all the way to 2023 and see if he actually is that consistently bad as people say, or if there is a lot of things that some people may be misunderstanding about his playoff, let's call it legacy. But first, some ground rules today. 1. As previously stated, we're going through every outing in chronological order, outing by outing, series by series, year by year. The context of every single outing, i.e., how many days of rest, was it a start, was it a relief outing, was he pitching through an injury, is going to matter in what we talk about. The wins, losses, saves, and other counting stats are not going to matter as much. The question I'm looking to answer is really just to see if he's as consistently bad as people say. And for that, I'm going to be grading every single outing on the grading scale. Okay, let's talk about the grading scale. There's 6 tiers in total, and we're going to take this from the top. The first tier is great. This is basically a pitcher's absolute A game. Flat out dominant. If you're facing this pitcher, consider yourself on the losing end. Below great, we have good. Good means, in this case, a strong outing, but not quite the absolute A game that would warrant a great rating. Still a start that every team's gonna go up to that pitcher, shake their hand and say, very well done, thank you. The grade below good is solid. Consider this on the good side of a quality start, maybe a bit better. I.e. a quality start, 6 innings, 3 runs, but you basically had no traffic and were just dominant, maybe -1 hiccup. Below that, we move into serviceable. This considers the bad side of a quality start. So take the same base stats, 6 innings, 3 runs, but you basically had to fight out of a bases loaded jam every inning and were just barely surviving. Then we get into the territory where you don't want to end up, which is bad. The type of outings that you would say, okay, not optimal, not good by any means, but a team with enough run support can still manage to get you over the hump. And finally, because you need this tier, awful. I don't think this needs much explaining. Right then, let's get into the main part of the video and begin with Clayton Kershaw's postseason debut. This debut comes in Game 2 of the NLCS against the Phillies on October 10th, 2008 in Philadelphia. Clayton Kershaw entered this game in relief in the 7th and pitched 1 2/3 innings, didn't allow a hit, no runs, 1 strikeout, and 1 walk. This strikeout came against Jimmy Rollins. The walk would later end his night, but the runner did not score. Short and sweet, this outing is a very solid postseason debut, grading good. His next outing came a few days later on October 13th against the Phillies, this time in LA, in Game 4 of this very NLCS. This one was not as good. He pitched 0.1 inning, gave up 1 hit, 1 earned run, no strikeouts, and 1 walk. To add some context, he started at the top of the 6th. His outing went walk, hit, sacrifice bunt for an out. He left with runners on 2nd and 3rd, and one of those runners would score on a wild pitch. The grading for this outing, as the runs scored off a reliever, is not going to be as bad as you may think it is, though it's still getting the grade bad. After this game, the Dodgers got eliminated by the Phillies in the next game in Game 5, and that brings Clayton Kershaw's first postseason to an end. We then move on to the very next year, 2009, where he got his first postseason start on October 8th, 2009 against the Cardinals in LA. He pitched 6 2/3 inning, gave up 9 hits, 2 earned runs, struck out 4, walked 1, and gave up 1 home run to Matt Holliday in the 2nd inning, and in the 7th, that second run came around on a Colby Rasmus double. The outing ended on a single but the runner was stranded by the bullpen. All things considered, I'm giving this outing a grade of good. It's a very solid 1st October start. His next outing came in the NLCS that year in games 1 and 5 against the Phillies again. The first outing of these two was a start on October 15th in game 1 of that series. The stat line for this one was 4 2/3 innings, 4 hits, 5 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 5 walks, and 1 home run. To put this into perspective, because yes, it may seem like very bad at first, but he was scoreless through the first 4, but in the 5th he gave up a 3-run bomb to Carlos Ruiz and a 2-run double to Ryan Howard. After that Howard double, the outing ended for Clayton Kershaw and Ryan Howard was left stranded. The grading for this outing, as much as I did say it's not as bad as it may look just looking at the stats, is still gonna get the grading bad. He just flat out fell apart in the 5th inning and was pulled way too late. He did then make another outing in relief for the 5th and 6th inning of game 5 of that series. It's a similar theme as his start, although in a smaller size. He got through a scoreless 5th inning, but then allowed a hit by pitch and a 2-run home run to Shane Victorino with 2 outs in the 6th. All in all, this outing comes out to 2 innings pitched, 1 hit, 2 earned runs, 3 strikeouts, 1 walk, 1 hit by pitch, and of course the Shane Victorino bomb. The grading, again, is bad. Had a lot of trouble getting a last out in the 6th, and it bit him hard. The Dodgers were then eliminated by the Phillies again, and would subsequently miss the playoffs from 2010 to 2012. So we're jumping ahead in time all the way to 2013. In 2013, Clayton Kershaw started his postseason conquest against the Atlanta Braves. In game 1 of the NLDS that year, he put on a very good outing. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 12 strikeouts, 3 walks. There's not much context to add here other than the run came in the 4th inning and 12 strikeouts to 3 walks speak for themselves. The grading here, I'm not gonna go great just yet. I'm gonna give this one a good plus. He's very close, but he had a lot of traffic on the base paths with the 3 hits and 3 walks, especially in some of the innings. And the pitch count of 124 doesn't make this the most efficient outing, so I'm sticking with good. After his masterclass in game 1, he got back on the bump for game 4 in LA this time on 3 days of rest. His end result on that day, 6 innings pitched, 3 hits, 2 runs, none of them earned, 6 strikeouts, and 1 walk. The 2 unearned runs came in the 4th inning. The second runner reached on an E3 on a failed double play, and after those 2 runs scored in the 4th, he did not allow another hit. This outing's getting a grade of good. 6 innings pitched on 3 days rest, even with the 2 unearned runs that came about not because of the error, but because of what happened afterwards, does not taint this outing as much as you might think it would. Continuing in 2013, in the NLCS, in games 2 and 6 against the Cardinals. In game 2, he started the game, went 6 innings, allowed just 2 hits, 1 run, none earned, struck out 5 and walked just 1. The 1 run he allowed came on a double by David Freese, which then was followed by a passed ball and a sacrifice fly. Other than that, he barely had any traffic on the bases, which more than merits this outing getting a grade of good. Unfortunately, he did take a loss in this game. He was outdueled by Michael Wacha of the Cardinals, who went 7 scoreless. After the unfortunate loss in game 2 of this series, he got back on the bump for game 6. It did not go well. He went 4+, gave up 10 hits, 7 earned runs, struck out 5, and walked 2. His outing ended in the 5th inning after he gave up 3 straight hits to start that inning, and all 3 of those runs scored on the bullpen. Does this save this outing in any shape, way, or form? No. This one was awful and not what you want, especially in a game that you need to win. Even without Michael Wacha again going 7 shutout innings, Clayton Kershaw did nothing to help his Dodgers. After the elimination at the hands of the Cardinals in 2013, the Dodgers found themselves matched up with them again in the NLDS of 2014, just 1 short year later. Clayton Kershaw pitched twice in this series, in game 1 and game 4. Game 1, he pitched 6 2/3 innings, gave up 8 hits, 8 earned runs, struck out 10, walked none, and gave up 2 home runs. Those 2 home runs were both solo shots in the 1st inning and the 6th inning, though that also means he allowed 6 earned runs in the 7th inning. This outing is bad. Not awful for the following reasons. The strikeouts show that he had good stuff that day, and just the 7th inning was just not his place to be. And the length he did give them kind of takes something away, even though the outing itself was not good. After his blow up, quote unquote, in game 1, he got back on the bump for game 4, this time in St. Louis, and went 6+, gave up 4 hits, 3 earned runs, struck out 9, walked 2, and allowed another home run. As is becoming a sort of a theme here, he went 6 scoreless, and in the 7th, he gave up 2 singles and a home run to Matt Adams. I'm grading this a solid as opposed to a serviceable, simply because some of his failures here, quote unquote, can be blamed on him being slightly overused on 3 days rest. If you know the 2015 postseason, you know the Mets made it to the World Series against the Royals this year, so here goes. Game 1 of the NLDS, Clayton Kershaw against Jacob deGrom. Clayton Kershaw, 6 2/3 innings pitched, 4 hits, 3 earned runs, 11 strikeouts, and 4 walks. The runs came in the 4th, a solo shot at the hands of Daniel Murphy, and in the 7th, when David Wright hit a 2 RBI single off Pedro Baez after Clayton Kershaw had walked the bases loaded while recording 2 outs on bunts. The 3 walks in the 7th here really taint this outing a little bit, but still, all in all, going more than 6 innings on 3 earned runs is solid. Again, minus the 7th, he went 1 run allowed through 6 innings. So really, it was just another occasion of we're asking way too much of this one pitcher to get us through everything. His NLDS rewrite added a Hollywood ending to the series. Game 4. 7 innings pitched, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 8 strikeouts, 1 walk, and 1 home run. He never faced more than 4 batters per inning and pitched on 3 days rest, which makes this outing all the more impressive. For the first time in this video, I'm going to pull out the grading great. With the Dodgers' backs to the wall, on short rest, he gave them everything they needed and more. There is not much else to say. After the exit against the Mets in 2015, the Dodgers again made the playoffs in 2016 and faced off against the Washington Nationals in the division series. Clayton Kershaw made 3 outings in this one, games 1, 4, and 5. In game 1, he started, of course, and went 5 innings with 8 hits allowed, 3 earned runs, 7 strikeouts, and 1 walk. The runs came in the 3rd and 4th inning on a Anthony Rendon 2 RBI single and a Trey Turner sacrifice fly in the 4th inning. The grading for this outing is serviceable. As much as he had a lot of traffic, he did manage to limit the damage to where he still kept his team in the game. Hence why I don't consider this a bad outing. After game 1, he got back on the mound for game 4 against the Nationals. And on 3 days rest, the Dodgers needed to win this game to force a game 5. Clayton Kershaw gave them 6 2/3, 7 hits, 5 earned runs, 11 strikeouts, and 2 walks. The runs came in the 1st inning off an RBI single by Daniel Murphy, and in the 3rd, a sac fly to Daniel Murphy, and in the 7th, where he got 2 outs, left the bases loaded for Pedro Baez. Pedro Baez then went on to hit a batter, and Luis Avilan hit a 2 RBI single off him. And all 3 of those runs, as they were left there by Kershaw, are charged to him. The grading here, I'm going with serviceable still. Short rest and the bullpen take a bit of blame here, and the Dodgers held on to wins, so I'm gonna say he did enough to not warrant a bad grading. And then you may be asking, how the hell did he pitch in game 5 when he pitched in games 1 and 4? Well, I'll tell you. In the 9th inning, on 1 day of rest, he pitched 2/3 of an inning in relief, gave up no hits, no earned runs, struck out 1, and didn't walk 1 on 7 pitches. The NLCS of 2016 against the eventual World Series champion Cubs is a very interesting story. He started game 2, 7 innings, 2 hits, no earned runs, 6 strikeouts, 1 walk. Both hits came in the 5th inning, which was basically the only inning he had any traffic in, other than a walk in the 7th and a scary last out of that 7th when Javi Baez hit a warning track shot. The grading here doesn't need much explaining. 7 shutout innings with this little traffic is gonna get you a great outing. In game 6 of that series, when he came back to pitch in an elimination game, he didn't do as well. He pitched 5 innings, gave up 7 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 4 strikeouts, and didn't walk a batter. The runs came in the 1st inning on an RBI single to Chris Bryant and a sac fly to Ben Zobrist, which was unearned because that runner was on 3rd base due to an error. In the 2nd, when he gave up an RBI single to Dexter Fowler. In the 4th inning, when he gave up a solo shot to Wilson Contreras, and in the 5th when Anthony Rizzo followed suit with a solo shot of his own. The grading here is bad. This is just not what you need in an elimination game, but not bad enough to where I would consider it awful. Game 1 against the Diamondbacks, 2017 NLDS. 6 in the 3rd, 5 hits, 4 earned runs, 3 walks, 7 strikeouts, 4 home runs. All the runs he allowed in this game came on solo shots in the 3rd, 6th, 7th, and 7th inning respectively. In this case, the grading goes to serviceable. Simply because 4 home runs is bad, but he did enough to keep them in the game. Next up, we have an NLCS rematch against the Cubs, in which Clayton Kershaw pitched in 2 games, Game 1 and Game 5. Game 1, 5 innings pitched, 4 hits, 2 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and 1 home run. Both of the runs came in the 4th inning here, which was a 2-run homer by Albert Almora. The grading here is solid. Nothing much to say about this one. He made 1 mistake pitch that resulted in 2 runs, but did not have much traffic otherwise, so there's that. Game 5, on the other hand, is a much different story. He had a chance to clinch the series here, and he delivered. 6 innings, 3 hits, 1 run, 1 walk, 5 strikeouts, and a solo shot in the 4th inning to Chris Bryant, accounting for the only run. Grading here, good. All you need for a series clincher from your ace, 6 one-run innings, that's a very good outing to send the Dodgers to the World Series. Game 1, his first World Series start, it's safe to say he put on a masterclass. 7 innings, 3 hits, 1 earned run, 11 strikeouts. That 1 run came in the 4th inning when Alex Bregman led off that inning with a solo shot, but he went on to strike out the next 3 hitters. This was the first Dodger World Series game since 1988 when they last won the thing, and he made this one count. This is a great outing by every measure in the book. Game 5 is a different story, however. He pitched 4 2/3, allowed 4 hits, 6 earned runs, walked 3, had 2 strikeouts, and 1 home run. I'm gonna be honest, I don't know how to grade this outing. This was the height of the Houston Astros scandal in the World Series in Houston. So for that reason alone, I'm going to make a mental note that this would have been a bad outing, very bad, but not awful. But just because of all the things that surround this outing is off the grading scale entirely, because you cannot grade this in any logical way without jumping through several hoops. The last outing Clayton Kershaw made in 2017 was in Game 7 of the World Series, in relief. He pitched 4 innings, gave up just 2 hits, no runs, 2 walks, and struck out 2. He entered this game pitching down 5-0 because Yu Darvish happened, and was basically just in mop-up duty and helping the Dodgers hold on to a sliver of hope. The grade here is good. For the situation and the outing itself, he did everything he could to keep his LA Dodgers in this Game 7. If you thought 2017 was a long year of playoff outings for this man, get ready for 2018. NLDS Game 2 against the Braves. This was Clayton Kershaw at his finest. 8 innings, 2 hits, no walks, no runs, 3 strikeouts. This outing gets a grading of great. Surprisingly, this was the only outing Kershaw made in the NLDS that year, as the Dodgers would win in 4. And then we go to the NLCS. Game 1, Game 5, and Game 7 against the Brewers. And Game 1 got off to a rough start. 3+, 6 hits, 5 runs, 4 of them earned, 2 walks, 2 strikeouts, and a home run to none other than Brandon Woodruff, the opposing team's pitcher. In the 3rd inning after the Woodruff home run, Clayton Kershaw allowed another unearned run and then 3 earned runs in the 4th inning. The grading here is bad. The home run to Woodruff just opened the floodgates, and it was clear Clayton Kershaw was not on in this game. He did flip the script in Game 5, going 7 innings, allowing 3 hits, 1 earned run, 2 walks, and 9 strikeouts. Basically, the entire traffic the Brewers could manage against him came in the first 3 innings. He had a hit in the first, and that runner was caught stealing later on to erase himself. And then 2 hits, 2 walks, and the earned run in the 3rd inning, so you really had to battle there. But to finish this outing, he retired 13 Brewers in a row. The grading for this game is good plus. While it's not quite 2017 World Series Game 1 Kershaw, he was still dominant throughout, minus that 1 inning in the 3rd. And after Game 1, it was a perfect bounce back, and he sent the series back to Milwaukee with his Dodgers leading 3-2. Lastly, in Game 7 of the NLCS, he came on in relief, pitching 1 inning, striking out 2, no base runners. This outing is good. Not much else to say. The 2018 World Series was against the Boston Red Sox, and he pitched in Games 1 and 5. Game 1 was a bit of a clunker, pitching 4+ innings, allowing 7 hits and 3 walks to the tune of 5 earned runs, but also struck out 5. He faced the minimum in only 1 inning in this game, which was in the 4th. For this outing, the grading is bad. It's not the start to a World Series you want at all. Too much traffic, too many runs. There was just not much he did to help the Dodgers stay in this game. In Game 5 of that series, the final game of that series, Clayton Kershaw kind of redeemed himself, going 7 innings with 7 hits, 4 earned runs, no walks, 5 strikeouts, and 3 home runs. The home runs came in the first inning, which was a 2-run shot, in the 6th inning and the 7th inning, meaning all runs scored on 3 home runs, and he went 3 up, 3 down in the 2nd, 3rd, 4th, and 5th. This outing is a tale of two sides. He started slow, got very hot in the middle, but then just fell apart in the end with the 2 runs in the 6th and 7th. But I'm still going to give this one a solid. It's not good, but more than enough to keep the Dodgers in this game to the 1 through 6. And, you know, retiring 13 in a row also helps you kind of salvage an outing like this. 2019, here we go. National League Division Series against Washington. Game 2 of that series was started by Clayton Kershaw, and he went 6 innings, 6 hits, 3 earned runs, 1 walk, and 4 strikeouts. All of those runs came in the 1st and 2nd, and then in the 3rd and 4th inning he had no traffic, and in the 5th and 6th he had 1 hit in each of those innings, but no damage. This outing I'm going to give a solid minus because of him settling in so well after his early struggles. And then we get to Game 5. He pitched in relief, entered in the 7th after Walker Buehler pitched brilliantly, and got out of the 7th inning completely clean. However, if you look at his total stat line, you'll see that he has only 0.1 innings pitched, but he somehow gave up 2 hits and 2 earned runs. How did that happen? Well, he got back out there for the 8th inning and gave up back-to-back solo shots to Anthony Rendon and the phenom of that year's playoffs, Juan Soto, ending his outing there. The grading here should surprise absolutely no one. This was awful. He blew the lead with those 2 home runs, and let's be real, he should probably have been taken out after the 7th inning. After Kershaw's outing, the Dodgers did lose Game 5 and get eliminated by the eventual champion Nationals. So this ends 2019 early. 2020, the COVID year, and what a year it was. Clayton Kershaw started this playoff run on arguably the highest note of his postseason career against the Brewers in Game 2 of the Wild Card Series, and Clayton Kershaw shoved. 8 innings, 3 hits, no runs, 1 walk, 13 Ks. He never had more than 1 base runner in an inning, giving up 1 hit in the 1st, 3rd, and 5th inning, and walking 1 in the 8th, whom he immediately erased by picking off that runner. All in all, this accumulates to a grading of great. This was Kershaw at his finest, and arguably his best playoff start of his career. His next outing in 2020 came in the NLDS in Game 2 against the Padres, where he went 6 innings, gave up 6 hits, no walks, but 3 earned runs on 6 strikeouts and 2 home runs. He gave up 1 run in the 2nd on 2 hits, 2 more hits in the 4th, but got out of that unscathed, and 2 runs in the 6th on back-to-back bombs by Manny Machado and Eric Hosmer. This outing, I'm gonna grade solid. Aside from the 6th inning, where he gave up the 2 bombs, he was good. Not much else to say, really. In the NLCS that year, the Dodgers faced the Braves in a classic 7-game set. Kershaw made just 1 appearance here in Game 4, having missed Game 2 with an injury. In Game 4, he did make a start and went 5+ on 7 hits, gave up 4 earned runs, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts, and 1 home run. The first run he gave up came in the 4th inning against Marcell Ozuna, who took Clayton Kershaw deep for a solo shot. In the 6th inning, however, this outing kind of went off the rails. He gave up 3 straight hits to start the inning with 2 runs scoring and left the game with a runner on second. That runner would later score off Brusdar Graterol. This outing I'm gonna go with serviceable, as yes, the 6th inning was really the only truly bad inning. He left the game trailing 3-1, which became 4-1 after the run scored off Graterol. So not the worst, but certainly not what you want from Clayton Kershaw in this situation. The Dodgers rallied around Kershaw in this series though and won in 7 games, so we move on to the 2020 World Series against the Tampa Bay Rays. Game 1 was Clayton Kershaw, and he went 6 innings, gave up just 1 earned run on 2 hits and 1 walk, struck out 8 and allowed 1 home run. After getting out of a shaky first inning with a hit and a walk, the only other runner came in the 5th inning, which was a solo shot by Kevin Kiermaier to give the Rays a run. In all the other innings, he faced only 3 batters, going 3 up, 3 down in 4 of 6 innings. The grade here is good. Not to say very good, he got the Dodgers off on the right foot and were pitching in Game 5 with the series even at 2 games apiece. This time his outing wasn't as long and not as good, but he still pitched 5 2/3, allowing 5 hits, 2 earned runs, walking 2 and striking out 6. The runs all came in the 3rd inning, where he allowed 3 hits. Both walks came in the 4th inning, where no damage was done as he picked off a runner who was trying to steal home, and he was then pulled after going 2 up, 2 down in the 6th inning for some reason. The grading here is good minus, not as good as his prior start, but it's still above what I'd consider solid. I'd consider this a good outing. 2 days later, Clayton Kershaw got the 1 ring in his career as the Dodgers won in Game 6. In 2022, Clayton Kershaw made just 1 outing. In the NLDS in Game 2 against the San Diego Padres. Dueling Yu Darvish, he went 5 innings with 6 hits, 3 earned runs, no walks, 6 strikeouts, and 1 home run. The first run came basically right away, with Manny Machado going deep off Kershaw in the 1st inning. After that, he settled in, but in the 3rd inning, he did give up 2 more runs on an RBI double to Machado and an RBI groundout to Jake Cronenworth, but retired 7 in a row through the 3rd, 4th, and 5th to end his outing. This grading here is solid. It's a similar outing to his last playoff start against the Padres in 2020, so not much else to say here. The Dodgers would lose this series in 4 and get eliminated by the Padres, which brings us to Clayton Kershaw's final outing in the postseason up to this point. That outing is in 2023 National League Division Series Game 1 against the Arizona Diamondbacks. Yeah, I'm not going to mince words here. This was his worst start of his career by far, and he got shelled. 0.1 innings, 6 hits, 6 earned runs, 1 walk, no strikeouts, and a home run. Clayton Kershaw never had a start in his career that didn't go at least 1 inning, so this was both the shortest start of his career and by far the worst. And that's it. 39 Kershaw playoff outings, taken in with a neutral and laid-back point of view. Let's draw some conclusions. First off, the fact that Kershaw is not the same consistently dominant pitcher in the playoffs as he is in the regular season is very much true to the fullest degree. However, it's not as easy as to just say he's a choker. To preface my more detailed final thoughts, if I had to put playoff Kershaw into one phrase, I would go with extraordinarily inconsistent. He has many outings, i.e. 2020 against Milwaukee, 2017 versus the Cubs and Astros, or 2018 versus the Braves, where he's truly himself and gives his team exactly what they need. On the other side of that coin are the clunkers, i.e. 2023 against the D-backs, that one relief outing against the Nationals in 2019, Game 6 against the Cardinals in 2013, that really blemish his playoff record. There's many outings in between those two extremes which are not good / not up to standard, in context of Kershaw in any month not named October, but are decent to good if looked at in a vacuum. So, is Clayton Kershaw as bad as people constantly say he is when the calendar turns to October? In short, no. He's bad, sure, but not to the degree people like to spin it. Yes, as said, he's had some bloody clunkers, but that doesn't take away the many great outings he's given the Dodgers over the years. So, with a quick time skip, here we are now, June 2024, about 75 games into the regular season at the time of recording. Clayton Kershaw has not pitched in the majors this season, as he had shoulder surgery during the offseason. At the time of recording, he's just made his first rehab start with the Dodgers' single-A affiliate, the RC Quakes. When he does come back, likely sometime after the All-Star break in July, he will enter his 17th season in the big leagues. During his 17th season, given he's still on the Dodgers, he will likely get the chance to pitch in October yet again. How that goes, we'll just have to wait and see. Feel free to comment on what you think about the ever controversial topic of playoff Kershaw, and let me know if you disagree with any of the gradings I made in this video. Just try to keep it civil. With that, I think I've said just about everything I need to. If you did enjoy this video, leave a like and maybe consider subscribing. Both of those would motivate me a whole lot, and who knows, maybe I'll see you again in another one. Until then, thanks for watching.